You are now tuning in to Kickspot with Jinu Park and Migs.
And we're back.
Yes, sir.
To another episode of Kickspot. And today we have a very, very special guest. He's one of my good friends. Actually, he's not even a friend, to be honest. He's family to me, you know. He's the Brody, Nick Shackelford. If you guys don't know, you guys can Google that name, Nick Shackelford. I know the last name could be a little tough, but yeah. But we will introduce what he does shortly here. But pretty much Nick is in the e-commerce sector. He is a brand specialist. He helps business really create and really catapult them to bigger and better things when it comes to sales and marketing.
True.
Is that correct, sir?
I think you've hit all the points.
Bam, bam.
You missed anything.
You know what I'm saying?
1, 2, 3.
History.
So what Migs actually means by like us being family is we're literally about to be family.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know how much we got into on the relationship side, but I'm sure it'll come up during.
It'll
this one.
probably come up.
So that could sound a little wrong in another way.
Yeah, exactly.
So can you go and elaborate for everybody what
So-
that actually means?
No, so my fiance is Nick's girlfriend's sister. So
Correct.
we're pretty much gonna be like brother-in-laws kind of thing.
Okay.
That's what we mean by family.
Okay.
But we do have a section of our show where if you're a new guest, and this is probably going to be one of the few times that Nick is going to be part of the show,
You get to go through our torture.
you get to go through
Of
our torture,
the questionnaire.
the trivia.
Trivia
Yes.
questions.
JP, did you want to start
Yeah,
the question? Okay.
So we prepared 5 questions for
Yeah,
you.
you're dead, bro.
So you can't look at the screen here. You can't cheat.
All right, clear.
So I'm gonna ask the first question, then we're just gonna alternate.
Yeah.
So I did some research on you, and I found out that you were a Billiken.
Okay.
Did you live out there?
I did 3 years.
3 years. Where did you live in St. Louis?
So I was in Central West End or on campus at SLU. Because someone said a Billiken, right? And we were. St. Louis was a great 3.5 years of my life. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be our connection because I actually lived in St. Louis for 5 years.
Good.
So going with that, we're gonna ask. I'm
right,
gonna
then.
ask the St. Louis questions.
Let's go.
And then Migs will alternate. But the first question I have for you, since you did live there for a couple years, is name the most popular pizza company in St. Louis.
Okay, I think I feel good enough to say this. Emos.
Emos is the correct answer.
I did live there. I promise you, I did live there.
Wow.
So for
I mean,
those of
that
you who
was-
don't know what Emos is, it's
Yeah, what is that?
like thin crust pizza.
Oh,
They use a
okay.
different type of cheese.
Okay.
Provolone? Is that what it was? Provolone cheese.
Okay.
That was the first time I had genuine good thin crust pizza.
Did you? I don't like Emos. But everybody over there just loves Emos. I'm not a huge fan. I just don't like the provolone. I don't know what I think it's too thick or something, but I'm just not a fan. But if you live out in St. Louis, it's
All
like a
about it.
cult following out there. So great job
Boom.
answering the first question.
All right, here we go. Question number 2.
Okay, here we go.
Nick, I'm gonna ask you a Cambodian question because we're dating Cambodians,
Okay.
right? Nick's part Asian. So,
I like to think so.
what American fast food retailer, right? Think of fast food, right? Like retailer, has the largest footprint in Cambodia? This should be easy.
I don't know.
I have 2 choices. Can I?
Yeah.
Yep. I think it's either Starbucks or McDonald's.
Okay, so wrong on both, but good guess on. So
Okay.
it's funny.
Educate me.
There's right now I'm reading this thing. Cambodia is one of the very few countries in the world where there isn't a McDonald's. Can you believe
Interesting.
that?
They literally banned them. Like it's just not
I
allowed.
guess, yeah. And KFC is actually bleeding money in Cambodia.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, interesting.
Okay,
yeah.
So not Starbucks. What?
It's KFC.
It's KFC.
Yeah.
KFC.
It's just they're just bleeding money.
Well, we love chicken out here. You know.
Yeah,
I'm like massive chicken. fan.
100%.
This is literally I would eat breakfast, lunch, dinner.
100%.
That's crazy.
And
McDonald's
snack.
is not there.
I did not believe that.
Yeah.
I don't. I literally just read it right now. I literally just popped this up because my next question is gonna be hard.
Okay. Okay. All right, Nick. So another St. Louis question for you. So in 1904, St. Louis opened its doors to the world for the St. Louis World's Fair. Have you been to the park there where they have the St. Louis World's Fair?
I've driven by it.
Okay,
Close,
perfect.
Okay.
There are many foods that were invented there that are staples today. Name one of them.
Gooey butter cake.
Gooey
is
butter
that
cake
a right answer?
It is one of them. Yes, it is.
Gentlemen,
And there's a few other ones that actually got created there. Ice cream cone, iced tea, hot dog, hamburgers, peanut butter, cotton candy, the club sandwich, puff rice, Dr. Pepper, and bottled water.
unbelievable.
We're all from
All that?
Yeah. It's a worldwide.
No,
fair,
yeah.
where people across the world would come out
That's pretty
to show
sick.
their inventions and all that. So
Wow, why would they choose St. Maybe because
it's right in the
It's in
middle.
the right in the middle.
Yeah.
situated,
Yeah.
That's why Budweiser's. That's where their hub is.
Yeah.
Because they can get distribution so quickly.
Yep, I used to go there a lot and get the free tokens after the tour and just drink the beers
All day.
all day. Okay, great job, great job.
Here's the question.
All right.
I got it from your future wife.
Hopefully she is after this answer.
Yeah. How did you ask Shanice to be your girlfriend?
Oh, I don't even know.
I think this might actually be a trick question because she's probably going to say, "He never asked me to be." His
Okay.
girlfriend." But I would like to quote that. I think this happened at her house. And it was just very casual.
Okay.
And it just like wasn't as like
just
impactful
happened.
for her as it is. And actually, it might be a trick question. I don't think I ever did ask her to be my girlfriend.
And the answer is that is correct.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
Wow, you survived, dude.
Oh my gosh.
She said, answer, he didn't. So if he makes something up, then he lying.
Future wife, potential future wife is still in the plan.
It's still in the plan right
Wow.
there. Great
Can't
job.
believe you put me on spot like that. You did me like that.
Awesome. So last question for you, since you did go to SLU. What is a billiken?
Okay.
Well, yeah, I don't know what it is. Can you explain?
So a billiken, if you look at it as right now without having any background, it looks like a chubby blue Buddha devil.
Yes.
Like all those words are in your mind, right?
Yes.
I know it is, but technically it was after one of our older coaches who's a little bit on the rounder side. And he was, I think it was Rick Majerus, I think it's like a longer name. And it was a good luck charm that someone just created out of nothing. There's no like past history and it just kind of stuck.
So we're gonna give that to you. We're gonna give that to you. So a little history on that.
I'm very excited.
The billiken was first brought into the world in 1908 by Kansas City, Missouri teacher and illustrator Florence Pretz.
Ooh.
It is considered a good luck charm, similar to a rabbit's foot. You can
Wow.
also find these figures actually in Japan as well.
Whoa.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it originated here though, and
But
then
we could, yeah, they
went over
get.
to Japan.
That's
You would
the other way
think just the other way around, but
Look at that. We bring facts, history, trivia to you all in one place. Kickspot.
This was incredible. I think
and then that's the episode.
And that's the
We're done.
episode.
And
No.
we're done.
But no, I wanted to introduce my boy here. So again, that was fun, Nick. Thank you for kind of entertaining us with your answers.
glad I won.
4 out of 5. That's pretty good.
That's 5 out of 5. That's probably one of the
I'm sorry,
first.
5 out of 5. I forgot that he got my question correct. I forgot. But for our listeners and our viewers out there, Nick Shackelford actually is a creative agency owner.
Yep.
And he also is an e-commerce brand specialist. And what he will enlighten us today is what that really entails and what that means and what he does. I think he's got a big role when it comes to, Facebook ads, social media, and how a company really grows their business. And he's going to shed a lot of light for us. We're going to go into a 3-part series with him. We're going to break it down for you guys. And right now, what he's going to do is going to give a background about himself, and then we'll go from there.
Appreciate that. Thank you for the floor.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Go for it.
So what Migs was alluding to on the e-commerce side and building brands, social media, paid media, Facebook. My background is as simple as I sell physical goods online through advertisements, Facebook, Instagram, a little bit of Snap, TikTok. We're learning about, and we sell physical goods. So in our space, we're focused on brands that you love, that you follow, the shirts that you follow, the shoes that you want. We're behind the consumer psychology of convincing someone to buy our things, or the brands that we work with, their things. And so I've been doing this for about 8 years, but it wasn't always like that. I think this is all the years in the coming.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
we're in it right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
real good, but before it definitely wasn't. You knew me for the very beginning. So if I were to answer it simply, we help brands grow. We help brands grow online, scale, spend as much money as they can to acquire more customers, and hopefully that grows their business for.
So how did you stumble upon? Because the way I knew Mr. Shackelford is, he was playing for the Galaxy. Like that was like one of the first things, right? He was recruited, a soccer star, got recruited to play for the Galaxy as their goalie.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, he comes home. I come to find out, what you're doing? What? Like brand what? E-commerce? Apple? What? So how did you go from?
I'll back it up.
Yeah.
I'll back it up.
Yeah,
For you.
and give us a background.
So the dream was always to be a pro soccer player. I think when you grow up, you want to be a music star, you want to be an actor, you want to be a pro.
Right.
Pro was the goal. That was what I wanted. I focused for it. And then as soon as I graduated from St. Louis, all the Billiken questions, why Jinu and I have that in common is that is where I got the opportunity to actually show I can perform. My home team is LA Galaxy, so I sent in a highlight tape. You could actually find it today, like Nick Shackelford highlight.
Oh, really?
Oh,
It's still
on
live.
YouTube?
It's on the YouTube. It's on the tube. It's on the tube. And you
Tight.
can see, like, even back then, like, I was having to make an advertisement to convince a pro team
Yeah.
to hire me, right? Like, so even back then, I was
Yeah.
making an ads for myself. And so I made a video. A guy named Luke Fields helped me out, great friend of mine. And they invited me. We played for a little bit. And I got there and I go, holy shit, like, this is what it looks like to be a pro.
Yeah.
And it was weird. I don't know if you guys have ever accomplished something and you got there and you go, this isn't really what I thought it was going to be.
Oh, really?
Like, wait, this is how I'm supposed to feel? Like, what am I missing? And it was unfulfilled. It was like ending point, goal. You're there and you're going,
Yeah.
I know you were traveling a lot too. Like you
It's
were
a
going to
tough part.
Europe. Yeah, like that. You were traveling a lot. Like I barely saw you.
you're chasing.
Yeah,
Well, 'cause
yeah,
you're first of all, you're not getting paid. It's soccer. So like kind of like minor league baseball. I don't even know if there's the XFL lasted for what, this long. So there wasn't even the minors for football. So if you're grinding, looking for contracts, unless you're first team locked in and your deal is solid, like you're first division, right? You're trying to find it.
Yeah, yep.
So even if you have the big name, and so a lot of those guys out there that might be chasing pros, like it's hard on you. It's hard on your relationship. It's hard on goals because our bodies last for what, 30 till you're 30. That's this year, maybe 34. So I was like, I knew no way I was gonna make like what I wanted financially or what I was as a man, to be completely fair, because it was selfish, I think.
Yeah. So how did you transition
Yeah.
into knowing that that's what you want to do?
So as a pro, if you don't get paid a lot, you kind of try to supplement it by doing private lessons or high school coaching or club coaching.
Yeah.
That's the position I was in. I met an individual. Her name was Rachel Pwepke, and she put me on as she was the woman at the current time working with PepsiCo. So the people that do the syrup in the restaurants, or they do the bottles. Well,
Yeah.
on the syrup in the restaurants, you get access to Wahoo's and you get access to BJ's, and that's how Pepsi and those work together.
Yeah.
She was inviting me into meetings, and I was learning, and I was being an intern on the millennial side of the transition of people buying shit online. Like now you actually had to care about your Facebook posts, and you had to care about this organic social. You needed to have that presence.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't understand that, but me speaking as a millennial, they're like, interesting. So what your perspective is, we should have a presence here. We should invest in photography. We should invest in events. We should invest in the content to show that we are about you, like the us, to kind of bring them into the store more. And so my perspective, although I wasn't qualified at all for whatever reason, they were listening, and the tension was there. And so I earned more opportunities to let in, talk, and it all started because I was trying to train her daughter goalkeeping.
Didn't you build an app?
That was it. Yeah, it's a part of the app. It's called Sportsy, which is like the soccer
Yeah,
training
yeah,
app,
yeah.
which is being built again now. It's still like existing, but not fully off the
Yeah,
ground.
it's crazy. I remember when you showed me.
So we were focused on. She gave me opportunity to sit in, provide value. I took the chance, and then I just didn't stop. Like you can even ask Shanice this. There was a point where it was like there was no money.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I lived at her house.
Yeah, I know.
What was it, 4 years?
4 years.
4 years lived at her house, trying to just figure it out, and things started clicking. Pepsi led me right into Rachel's niece. I was on Full Round, which is like the building right next door to us, right where we are, and she was leading Apple's paid social global approach. And I was not qualified, but I knew Facebook.
And
I
then
went in there.
you went, okay.
You can only check what happens next, right? Earn the opportunity, and learning about that at that scale, spending that much money. Bro, this is like, first of all, Apple wasn't even doing campaigns to get you to upgrade phones yet. Like that was just the beginning of this, 2017.
Wow.
So they weren't doing any promos. They were just taking all the content off because they had the dope commercials.
Yeah,
the colors,
that's all
the
they
switching,
had.
the changing.
Yeah.
They just chopped it up, sent it to us on Facebook, and we distribute it. So it wasn't unique yet. And it was so cool to be in there going like, all right, that's a TV spot. Here's your 15-second spot. Oh, by the way, this is going to go on the billboard. All this stuff needs to go live on Thursday because campaign goes live on Friday. But if you're in Japan or if you're in APAC or EMEA, here's when you go live. So it was like global planning. And that, to me, was the real transition of going like, oh, shit, Facebook, this is real. Because at that time, you guys weren't even thinking about, am I going to buy stuff online?
No.
Neither was I.
It was all brick and mortar.
Stores. Oh, I can't wait to go to.
I can go to the Apple store when they release the phones and wait in the 2-hour line that's over there.
And be excited.
Yeah, and be excited. I got my new iPhone.
Right. No one was thinking, oh, I'm gonna actually sit in line. Oh, no, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna buy this. And even brands weren't doing too many drops. I think even Supreme. I think even like Palace. These early guys weren't doing too many drops at that point. I think maybe even Pink Dolphin was doing it, but.
So how did you build up that credibility? I mean, if I'm looking at it from an Apple standpoint and I see someone, Nick, I'm like, what is this guy gonna bring, and how much revenue is he actually gonna generate with his ideas? How did these companies trust you out of anybody that's out there?
That's a fantastic question. I think at the Apple level, they don't just take on an individual and expect a lot from him by himself. I was an individual on a team of maybe 9, and so being led by this was true agency. This was like true agency work that had teams and plans quarterly and yearly, and we were led by Alazan. So I was an important piece in the campaigns in Europe and campaigns in JPAC.
It's huge,
but not leading it, right? So I was able to learn on her team of how the dynamics worked, not have to have everything on our shoulders or my shoulders specifically because I wasn't the best yet, but I was learning how to do that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Then after I kept working, I realized, like, first of all, 2 things. That's tough to be, this pace in which Apple moves with how big of a team is, like, it's never nonstop.
Yeah.
It's kind of a grind. Unless you're into that, unless you're like, I think I really want to be a part of this agency, big brand world, it grinds you down a little bit. So I made the understanding I didn't think I wanted to do it as long. And fast forward to a little bit today is where the fidget spinner popped off.
Yeah.
Fidgetly.
Tell about that.
That happened right after.
Yeah,
I want to ask you about that because the fidget spinner, when I was researching this, so my friend actually made a killing off of it only because he bootlegged it in China.
Smart.
Just within a few months, he made 50,000 net. And it literally was, he would find things that were just popping off. He'd go to China real quick, manufacture it, and then just drop shit right through Amazon. So he was making so much money off of it. But when I was researching it, it was really invented by like a lady, and then she lost her patent because it expired, and then other people took it and then ended up, exploding it. So Migs told me that you had something with the fidget spinner. So I'm very.
I thought he invented it.
Yeah, I was like, so did you take a patent and then create it to become bigger? Like what like how did that all come about?
It's an unbelievable story. So if you look at the patent that she had, did you see the picture of what it was?
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually look like the modern day fidget spinner.
Yeah.
It more looked like a finger top.
Yep.
Oh,
So-
it was just like a spinner for like a finger. It was just like, okay.
That's the only way I can describe it. Like,
Okay.
If I saw a Q-tip, I call it a Q-tip. 'Cause
Right.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
This looked like a finger top.
Yeah.
To me, and so she actually patents on products like that are specific to like the use or specific to the style or specific to the design. So you can kind of patent various elements of this. We definitely didn't create it, that's for damn sure. But there were people that were doing this, actually more genius than her idea, 3D printing it, and then making their own models and styles.
Interesting. Yeah.
So back at that time, Jake was really into growing accounts. So we had 4 or 5 like large Instagram accounts, and we were selling ad space. Brands want to market with us. That was like the true beginning of structured social, and we saw part of that was a bot called like a follow liker, where it would follow and like, and you grow your account, like kind of bot it up, right?
Yeah.
We got liked by an account that was selling 3D printed tops, and I was like, what? Jake was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Clicked into it, and he goes like, wait, I'm seeing these everywhere. These are trending right now. So he saw that, kind of like your buddy that found really cool things, probably what we did. And Jake found out that he can find the manufacturer from Alibaba, got indirectly connected with it, started patenting parts of the add-ons. So we had caps on ours.
Yeah.
So that cap for the finger was like, we call it like a trick top or whatever thing to brand it, so that you pay extra.
Yeah.
They're buying for these like $30. we were definitely not getting it for $30, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
had massive margins on it.
Yeah.
So we took a completely different spin on it, and where people kind of fucked up with is they called it fidget spinners, like something fidget spinners. Well, fidget spinners isn't like brandable. Fidget.ly is
It's
brandable.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Fidget.ly was the name that people bought into. They're like, no, that's not a fidget spinner. That's a Fidget.ly.
Interesting.
The same thing as a Q-tip. Like, oh, I can go ear swabs, but I want the brand Q-tip.
Q-tip. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
Jake is all this guy's brain. We were just packaged it well, and I knew Facebook, and this is like the true. This is when I left Apple and go like, holy, I knew Facebook was important at Apple, but now I knew Facebook was important for like individual revenue growth, like the hundreds of thousands that we did in the first month. Like, oh fuck, like this is real. And so now at that point, I go, okay, we built this. This is something that we can finally do. Are we lucky enough to do it again? We stayed with it, and down the street to the right where WeWork is, that was our first office. Jake was in Missouri.
interesting.
Pull this out. Jake was a goalkeeper in Missouri,
Yeah.
and we just began working with each other, learning how things work. Jake's 24,
Oh, interesting.
29. So we've been doing this for 7 years, and so this kid was so special. I was like, okay, let's see how badass this guy can go. Flew him out here, drove him from San Diego to LA, had a couple meetings. Now we have a legitimate company, legitimate business. We partnered with someone to get us financing to get more inventory because we were getting fucked. We were selling too many, had to come back.
Wow.
Fast forward to the end of Fidget.ly, we ended up not understanding equity distributions, not understanding who to partner with and when you actually need to take on capital, and can we just reinvest the profits or reinvest the revenue that we're driving.
Yeah.
That was the number one education that we realized, like, oh fuck, we did this wrong. What's next?
Yeah.
Kind of puts us today is for the last 6-7 years, I wouldn't say fully 8 because the first one was learning. We've worked with 150 brands that are not selling digital things, products, cups, phones, phone cases. Like we work with D2C, direct-to-consumer brands, and you name it, from baby to bathing suits to lingerie to
Shampoo. You showed us
shampoo,
yeah,
skincare,
skincare,
hats,
everything.
shirts, all of it, leggings. Like we've done it all for a very long time. So that's perspective is like fast forward to even further today. We just got through the pandemic. I know I'm going quick through this, but that progression of the growth of Apple to fidget spinner to brands to now creative.
Mm-hmm.
That's as quick as the internet is. It's so you.
Yeah, I think anybody that is in, if you're getting like inventory, obviously the financial statement is always important. So did you hire somebody to look at your income statements, balance sheets? Like, how did you learn from that process?
Oh, and I knew I was never going to be able to handle any of this, or was money to me is still like a weird subject just because of just past experiences.
Yeah.
So I purposely choose to not have that on my shoulders. So I outsource that to someone much smarter than me as quick as possible, so I can't speak too much.
Perfect. Okay.
So you want to talk about? I know you and I kind of mentioned something about your new company, Konstant Kreative.
Yeah.
I don't know how new that is. It seems you just lit up right when I said that name. It's like, oh yeah, of course. So can you give our audience a little bit of background of what you created with Konstant Kreative?
Sure. So with the brands we have, the number one change that Facebook or all these new platforms are providing us is you have to have more content, more creative. That's why you guys are creating this. Right? But the more you put out, the more these platforms favor you. So with Konstant Kreative, the pandemic didn't allow people to do shoots. Like we're in a beautiful studio right now.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Thank you for letting us have some
Glad you
of
guys
this.
can check it. But you can't shoot. Nobody wants to come in. Models don't want to talk.
Yep.
They don't want to come close.
Yep.
So it's really hard to get it done. But what you can do is hire workers that are in other parts of the country or workers that are in other parts of the world. And so we were found a great opportunity to educate brands that don't know how to access designers at very high levels that know performance marketing, because we create ads to sell things. We don't create ads to make it look pretty. Like the difference between branded and direct response, right? So we know there's an element of direct response with a little bit of rotation into the brands. And so Konstant Kreative allows brands to find designers that know how to make ads that convert. And so the constant part of it is you get it as much as you need. You can log in, request ads for upcoming holidays or upcoming events, and we'll be able to make it within 48 hours.
So the entire content. So from like photo shoots, video within 48 hours.
Good question. So it's only, you have to provide us the raw or the assets already done, and then we can form it into the ads. we can't pick up and shoot a camera. That would be like separate, mainly because you can't get quality content that cost effective.
Okay.
In that quick of time.
So if we wanted to have like our ad space, right? Like, let's say we want to put an ad for this episode.
Right.
So and we give you guys our raw footage.
Yeah.
And then so you have your team just create, and then Migs, here's the final piece. Boom. What do you think?
Boom. Almost exactly like that. You go, here's what I want. Here's a little bit what we're looking for. I want to highlight the beginning, the middle, the end. I want to highlight us setting it up. I want to speed it up, and then we'll do all the transitions, the text overlay, the branding that you guys have. Like we love black, yellow. These are the things that we make sure it has to have. The guys will get it done.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you guys don't have to spend the time, like in your minds, you'll be able to create like, okay, I know I want it to be engaging. I know I want it to have these elements. Definitely get the intro. We don't really care too much about the outro, but find important parts during the middle of it. Joe will work with our designers that really actually can deliver a piece that you couldn't articulate clearly because he already knows the space so well.
Yeah. No, I know it. And right when you and I were talking about, doing this, and you kind of threw an idea to me, and you were like, we could probably help you guys out. Like, when you guys are ready, when it comes to putting you guys' content together, as far as the visuals of it. I was like, that would be amazing. It's just, I needed to understand more on what exactly Konstant Kreative does. And you pretty much put a perfect definition of it and what you guys actually do. So thank you for that.
No worries.
But what we're going to do, because we want to talk about more of the tactical piece of what you do.
I think that's what most people are wondering right now.
The analytics.
Too, as they're, obviously remotely working from home and they're using their social media sites. They obviously want to grow that industry as well. And so we're going to kind of nitpick at some of the tactics behind how to grow like your Instagram or Facebook.
Just your brand itself.
And all that too. And I want, me personally, being a musician from the past, like I want to know the differences between past marketing versus current marketing. So when we come back, we'll go over that.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll come back soon.
You are listening to Kickspot.